In this ultimate clash of two of the most terrifying and chaotic villains in pop culture, we pit Heath Ledger's iconic portrayal of the Joker against the nightmarish entity known as Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Both characters represent fear, anarchy, and chaos in their own unique ways, and today, we'll explore who might come out on top in a battle that's not just physical but psychological as well. Psychological warfare, manipulation and fear. The Joker thrives on manipulation, anarchy, and the mental unraveling of his opponents. Heath Ledger's portrayal in The Dark Knight showed a villain with a brilliant mind, using unpredictability as his greatest weapon. His ability to push even the most stoic of opponents, such as Batman, toward the edge of insanity makes him a force to be reckoned with. The Joker doesn't rely on brute strength or supernatural powers. His real weapon is his ability to manipulate people's fears and perceptions, turning their world upside down. Pennywise, on the other hand, is the embodiment of fear itself. As an ancient, shape-shifting entity, he preys on the deepest fears of his victims, often taking the form of a terrifying clown to exploit childhood traumas. Pennywise doesn't just feed on fear, he thrives in it. His psychological tactics are driven by pure terror, tormenting his victims until their minds are shattered, before delivering the fatal blow. Unlike the Joker, whose goal is often to create chaos and laugh as the world burns, Pennywise has a hunger for souls, and fear is his way of feeding that hunger. In a psychological duel, these two forces would clash in epic proportions. While the Joker manipulates through human insanity and unpredictability, Pennywise taps into deep-seated primal fear. The real question is, can the Joker, a man driven by his chaotic brilliance, resist the otherworldly fear that Pennywise commands? Combat prowess, skill versus supernatural power. When it comes to physical combat, the Joker and Pennywise are wildly different. The Joker, though not superhuman, is incredibly resourceful. He uses a variety of weapons, from knives and guns to elaborate explosives and chemical agents. He's a master of chaos and surprise, setting up traps that make him dangerous even in situations where he seems outmatched. His unpredictability in battle often keeps his enemies on edge, not knowing what to expect next. Pennywise, however, is not bound by the physical limitations of a human. He's a supernatural entity that can shape-shift, teleport, and use a wide array of supernatural abilities to overpower his foes. He can manipulate reality, making it difficult for any human, or even someone as resourceful as the Joker, to land a physical blow. Pennywise's powers include illusions, creating tangible fears, and even using telekinesis to control his surroundings. In a straight fight, it's hard to see how the Joker could match Pennywise's raw supernatural abilities. But the Joker has always thrived in situations where the odds are stacked against him, finding a way to turn the tables even when it seems impossible. Could he find a way to neutralize Pennywise's powers, perhaps using his intelligence and unpredictability to exploit a weakness? Motivations, chaos versus hunger. The motivations of these two villains are crucial in determining the outcome of this battle. The Joker is driven by pure chaos. He wants to see the world crumble and enjoys breaking people mentally and emotionally. He's not motivated by wealth, power, or even survival. He simply wants to watch the world burn. This makes him incredibly dangerous because he has no personal stake in the battle. The Joker is willing to go to any length and take any risk because, in the end, it's all a game to him. Pennywise, however, has a more primal motivation, survival. As an ancient cosmic entity, Pennywise feeds on fear, specifically the fear of children. He doesn't just want to terrorize, he needs to terrorize to survive. This makes Pennywise less inclined to take unnecessary risks, as his survival depends on instilling enough fear to sustain his existence. His hunger for fear and souls drives him to prey on his victims carefully, choosing the right moment to strike. In this battle, it's the Joker's lack of fear that would play a pivotal role. While Pennywise feeds off fear, the Joker, in many ways, embodies fearlessness. He doesn't fear death, pain, or even failure. This could weaken Pennywise, as the Joker doesn't provide the fear Pennywise needs to grow stronger. Would Pennywise be able to break the mind of a man who's already broken, or would the Joker's chaotic mind be too much for the fear-eating clown to handle? The final showdown, mind games and terror. In the final showdown, the battle would be less about who can overpower whom and more about who can outsmart the other. The Joker, with his chaotic unpredictability, would likely set a series of traps and play on Pennywise's overconfidence, trying to push the entity into a corner where he makes a fatal mistake. On the other hand, Pennywise would use his reality-bending powers to try and trap the Joker in an endless loop of terror, hoping to drive him insane. But the Joker is already beyond sanity, and his fearless approach would be his greatest weapon. While Pennywise thrives on scaring his opponents, the Joker would laugh in the face of fear, possibly confusing and even disorienting Pennywise in the process. The more Pennywise tries to frighten the Joker, the more the Joker might find humor in it, turning the battle into a psychological contest rather than a physical one. Conclusion: chaos reigns supreme. In the end, it's the Joker's sheer unpredictability and refusal to play by any rules that would give him the edge. While Pennywise is undoubtedly a powerful and terrifying force, he relies heavily on fear to dominate his opponents. The Joker, who thrives in fear and chaos, would ultimately undermine Pennywise's tactics by being too unpredictable to control. Pennywise might win in raw power, but the Joker wins the psychological battle, proving that, in the end, chaos reigns supreme. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to What's on Hollywood for more epic battles and in-depth analyses of your favorite characters.